Okay, one thing I learned when I was first getting trained to work on the cassette decks and all that stuff, because they had very small screws. And this, what they taught me, goes for any mechanic working on cars or any electrician or technician. You always want to go counterclockwise first. And you hear that? That means the threads have lined up. And then you can go clockwise. Here. Sometimes it's a really loud snap like that, and other times you don't even hear it, but you feel it. Yeah, so now I can use this guy, probably about 2.5 inch. Let's see, is that good? Yeah, 2.5 inch. Actually, let's go to 2. And that way you don't over tighten anything. Okay? Alright, let me finish off and I'll come back in a bit. So this is an old Tenma that I bought. MCM Electronics used to be another place that I'd order stuff from. Back in the 80s, they went out of business about 10 years ago, and I think Newark bought all their inventory and stuff. But MCM was making their own, you know, they had a Chinese factory, whatever, and I think a lot of their stuff was designed in California, and then they would just make it over there. And so right now, what I'm going to check is to make sure that I got continuity from. This is where the plug comes in, AC, and these are the red wires that bring it to the transformer. So I just want to make sure I have continuity there. There's a fuse here. I did check the fuse for my buddy, but I never checked to see if I had continuity over at the house, so, or rather over at his photography place. So let me see if this is all right. So yeah, so there we go. Wow, that's a lot of resistance. If I'm right, that's measuring 12.38 mega ohms. That's like way too much resistance, man. I would want that to be at 0. Wow. That's really odd. Okay, let me go to. Oh, I know. Okay, I think I know what was happening. I was reading through the coils, the primary on this guy. All right, so now if I go back over here, okay, and I go over here, it should be 0. And if I go here, it's going to be that. If I go back over here, it should be, all right, 0. Okay, so let me come over here. Should be 0 there too. Yep. Okay. So basically I'm just going from one side of the, God, and I know it's hard for y'all to see, but I'm going, can't remember which one's hot, which one's neutral. This is definitely ground. So I'm just going back and forth there. So, all right, so I know that I definitely got continuity all the way over here. Let's see. Yep. I come up here, go to this one over here. Okay. Great. So now it's just a moment of truth. Connect the power, turn it on, and see if it'll come on. And if it doesn't, man, I got to start troubleshooting, you know, to see if I got voltage coming off the transformer. Possible the transformer's bad, I don't know. or could be some relay in here. Maybe one of these relays has gone bad or something. So, and I don't have the schematic for it, but but I can check it. Okay, be back in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Very interesting. Connected the capacitors, soldered them in, and I'm getting voltage, coming in from the AC plug, getting it all the way over here. I'm getting it right here to the transformer, but I'm not getting anything out of the transformer. 0. That's interesting. Do transformers go bad? Yes, they do. And I want to say that's probably what's wrong with this. So to test it, I have it on, turn it on. I know I got power coming here up to this point. I mean, unless there's a break somewhere in here on the primary, which is possible, but I'm not going to take this thing apart. So I should have voltage coming out here. Okay, so there's 2 oranges and a black over here, and then there's 2 whites and a brown over there. And so I have my meter here set to AC, and I should get, I'm going to assume 50, maybe 60 volts on over here, AC, going into the board, and I get nothing. And then this other section, the 2 white ones and the brown one that run the 12 volts for this guy over here, this is where you have your crossover network and stuff like that, and the on-off button, and the input circuit to run the signal through these guys into the amp to then go out to the speaker. I should get some voltage here, and I'm not. Nothing. Wow. Well, I'm going to have to break the news to my buddy. Obviously, one of these guys is bad. I would not have that in there. I mean, it probably still works. I don't know. But the issue is, can I find a transformer? That's going to be the issue. And then knowing, how much voltage I need to come over here. These are at 80 volts, these caps. I'm going to assume that coming in here, I know it's bad to assume, I don't see anything written on the board. Oh, there's something right there. It says 94 volts to 0. Interesting. Okay. And let's see, where else is there? Anywhere else? Well, I know these regulators over here are 12 volts, so I would assume that on these white and browns that are feeding the AC that's feeding that circuit, you'd probably need to have at least 15 to 18 volts AC coming in. So, wow. All right, well, the saga continues, man. All right, see y'all in a bit. Okay, doing some more troubleshooting on this amp, and what I found is that the transformer, the primary side of the transformer, has here. Let me show you. See if y'all can see that there. Has 13 almost 12 mega ohms of, yeah, 11.7 mega ohms of resistance. So the primary side of this transformer is bad. Yeah, it should not be that high. It should be maybe 8 or 9 ohms or less, 5 ohms, but not 11.81 mega ohms. So yeah, I told my buddy, so now it's a hunt for a transformer. So I'll have to see what I can find. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.